and welcome in. I have a playlist of music, which I hope is okay. And today I'm going to try and see if I can actually finish my second volume. So I'm doing this so that I can actually put the focus into doing it. So, I've been annoyed a little recently because, and in I don't know why it does that. It randomly disconnects my headset. But yeah, so as I was just saying, that's the end of that sprint, and it's, well, I'm getting there with my narrative beats. So I'm just gonna have a 5-minute break for now, because I need to figure out how I'm gonna do this. Actually, I should probably go through and name the chapters I've got planned based on what I've got in this notebook for me. I'm gonna have to figure that out at some point. Right, so this, I still need to like continue with this. Right, let's get my sprint timer up once again. And let's hop back into Hello, it is me, Inkwell. Nice to see you. I have officially graduated as of November last year into this account. So... It's because my stream's third monitor. I'm doing it up on here. Here we go. Hey, first time change. Nice. I've only just... I need to bring it up on this left monitor. This is a decent playlist. Ooh, I've had a follow. Thank you for joining the bookery. Welcome back. Thanks. I'm currently writing the narrative piece for my third volume, which I haven't even started yet. Actually, yes, that comes later. No, writing. I've been all along. Yeah, I get that feeling. We'll go back to streaming next. I hate it when my microphone does that, where it just randomly disconnects when I don't want it to. But I was literally responding to you, and I was like, I was saying, it sounds like you've got some time in your hands that you really want to do. I take it you're in like shared living or something, because you say roommates. So that's something I want to get into when I leave my home. Probably need support for that though. It'd be nice to see you actually writing again. That'd be cool. Yeah, take care of my friend. Ah, that's really nice, actually. Well done for that. You can't hear it, but I have just clapped like a few times, like softly. Good on you for doing that. Let's see. Then I'll get my own place. I want to live close to your sister. She just had what? Congratulations. I've got a bunch of first cousins once removed. So but it'd be nice. Oh, that's impressive. I'd probably do the same. Like, I've got a cousin who has a lovely little girl, and I'd love to like be not quite an uncle if you're a cousin, though, are you? But I'd love to have that sort of image in their head. That's, believe it or not, that's also the sort of approach in one of my books I'm writing is going to feel like. Setting contact well into our 30s. I call them all the time, but we're still real tight knit. Yeah. You're lucky. I feel a bit distant from my family at times. Wish I wasn't. I've got a 6-second stream delay. I've only just noticed that. There we go, that's the end of it. It's all good. So, yeah, I would... One thing I'd like to try and do for this channel is maybe get myself a VTuber model. Because that would be kind of fun to have. Have I really written 790 words on this? Huh. That's impressive. Where is it? I'm looking for something. Ah, this one. Oops, nope. Good being YouTuber avatar from Fiverr, I don't know, Etsy. Maybe. I am a bit skinned to money though, which is why I've put together a Patreon to support the works. Yeah, someday I'll have something to go in the webcam section. Yeah, I'm probably gonna... I don't have that money, but I'll do it. You would? That would be... That will shock me. Hang on. Let me check something. Let me get to my dashboard. It's got 8 impressions. Feel free to have a look at the Patreon as well, just so you can see what's going on with it. You've been such a big supporter of me in the past. I'd like to help you out where I can. Thank you. That'd be really nice. Is it under membership? It would probably be that. And I've made it affordable as well. I like how it's highlighted the second one and not the first one. I'm tempted to put another tier in, which is just kind of like a support, just being a supporter. They really should allow it to be $2.99 or higher. Because if it says start your lowest tier at £3 or higher, it's really stupid. There we go, I've actually got it to work. I can do that as well. There we go, I've just literally done that. That's weird, that's stupid. But feel free to like go through and look at them all. I've put a lot of effort into the tier system. But yeah, I'm going to get on with the sprint once again. Here we go. I might actually change my playlist. The Patreon, I take it you found it. I'm reading through your comments again because it went up the list. Because all I saw was, do you have a link? Because it scrolled us up for some reason. Playlist, it's cute. I usually listen to like metal or folk, lo-fi, jazz. Right. I'm a little bit like that. I would say try refreshing the page because there is a new one in there. And I've also just set it up a little as well, so... Fix that back to normal. Why did you do that? Ugh, hate it when it does that to the highlighted tier. Thank you so much for this. Did that exactly on the hour, which is honestly, thank you. So when I do eventually post something on Patreon under that subscription, you will be able to read it. Thank you so much for this. I'm definitely putting that towards getting an editor for my series as well. Thank you so much for that. Now, how do I actually post? That's what I want to know. I need to remember exactly. I'm going to... in a second. So I'm in the middle of making that Patreon post. Ah, I got a typo in it. Here we go. And then when I get around to that, I will... I need to get to... It's 1T, isn't it? Yep. Well, it's posted now. It should email. Either that or it hasn't, because I hit publish. And it's a long chapter as it is. I should probably check how long it is. I can actually. So I needed to write that, finish it. Not softer, Sophia. So slow curving rose forcing to focus on it. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Pay attention to his things. I've edited that in the actual draft. It now says the slow curving roads force him to focus on his running, reminding him he needs to pay attention to his surroundings. That's what it is. That's what it says now. But yeah, so I became a superhuman in another world. This is a series which I wanted to write and I got a little fed up with all of the sort of like oversaturated tropes and cliches of the like isekai fantasy genre. So I went around reading probably 300 to 400 word mangas and watching about maybe 200 anime set in that sort of like setup. And I was kind of like, I'm not finding the thing I want. I want someone with superpowers in a world of fantasy and magic who can't use magic. You know what? I'm gonna write it. So, and then I started this 4.5 years ago, December 19th, 2021, at 3:02 in the afternoon. And I've pretty much been writing it, but I don't know why it does that. My head's... I have to, like... When I mute my microphone, it's like stops the microphone from fucking... So I have to be careful with it. I genuinely have no idea why it does that. But I was just reading out your message. Sorry, nothing you did wrong. My schizophrenia doesn't do that. And then quit what I read. I mean, you can just take your time to read through it, because I know someone who's actually gone through and read every single chapter. Like, my longest one here is 6,600, and I think this chapter's about to beat it. This is the longest chapter I've ever written. And here's something I find amazing, is the precursor chapter to the plot twist for volume 2 is almost 3 times as much. Like, some people get to like the end of volume 1, and then volume 2, it starts with that one. Then like it's gone up a little for Powers of Consequences, and then I posted a few months later this one, and it's still sort of like relatively going. But I also need to... I've been working on Mistborn for over a decade. Nice. I've only got 90,000 words in this. This says I've got 84,188 words. But that's just what this version has. What's really interesting is about 6 months ago, this place had an article about my work. And what's really funny is they got the pen name origin wrong. Like, it's really obvious once you see it. Because if you take the J out and you take off the E and change the space... because before I had my fanfic name. The self-proclaimed fanfiction guy who currently worked the university into his elegant prose writes more than... Because when I came up with the university name in my book, I didn't realize it was an actual one, because I thought Fenwick sounded like a sort of fake British name. But I didn't realize it was an actual place. So this is the whole article here. So it's Fenwick appears in obscure, regular, not fan fiction. And they actually link to the 3rd chapter as well. So I think they got up to this one. I'm actually looking at the new UI they have for this website too. But yeah, here's my stats. 7 people have favorited this work. I've done no promoting for this as well, by the way. I've done no promoting for this. It's just word of mouth, is what I do. So I have done it myself to follow favorite and read later so that I can get an update for it. But I also now have the Patreon button here as well. I've been a member on this website for 7 years. And I've only been writing it for 4.5. And apparently I follow myself. 10 followers for single fiction, that's probably the fan fiction. Publishing at least 150,000. 3 upvotes for fiction reviews. 10,000 total views, and that's the fan fiction. And I've been with them 7 years. Doesn't it feel good when even one person gets in? Yes, I know. And what's really interesting is the theme for mine is divergence from common tropes and cliches. Because if I come to like, and this is a big teaser for anyone reading it, because I have 16 volumes, but I shouldn't have this one open. This one is what I should have open. Is it? No. I've already got that one open. This one I should be looking at. Oh, it's already open here. Look. But yeah, this one has 16 volumes planned. So I've got a 4-page summary of volume 1. And then it goes all the way down into this one. So it says old notes, but I'm actually currently overhauling them because I've got all of this. So this is what I've actually said to kind of like store it on a chatbot, because I just wanted feedback on the process. To adapt from the context, and it's all of these are my messages. So I've got all of this. Fun fact: the illegal activity, blah 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 blah. World building lore. Windsor is the port town where a majority of Volume 3 is set, except the final 2.5 chapters, potentially. 1.5. Will they end up dealing with their future? No. That. Need to make sure I know about that. And that's all that. And then I go into my actual notes I've written for Volume 4, which starts here. As you can see, it's now to beat the whole volume, but this is actually just a little bit afterwards. So yeah, this is my outline. Yes. So that one's got a bonus chapter that leads up to how her arrival appears. Volume 4 continued. Drunken dilly dally, and all of Volume 4's stuff I'm gonna have to rewrite as well. But then Volume 5 onwards is kind of it's okay, because it transitions into like a little slight time skip. And I might actually well, it's Volume 5, so that's going to be that's got that. A volume of full book. A volume is a full book, but it's also a story arc as well. Because if you read like most manga and light novels, in a very cliche way, they kind of end one plot at the end of the volume. And for me, it's just kind of like, I want to continue reading it. Why are you ending it there? But some of them actually do continue by putting it into that's my language. That's my volume 3 beats. Yes, but mangas aren't novels. But mangas are based on light novels, and light novels are small and short. Novels are 120,000 words. Light novels are 30 to 50,000 words. And novellas are 40 to 60,000. No, mangas are mangas, they're not comic books. Comic books are what are things like DC and Marvel. Manga has its own art style, so it's a manga. And plus you read them right to left, not left to right. From back to front. Well, it's about respecting their culture as well. So if you just call them comic books, but then again, everyone's got their own opinion. So that's SE for semantics. Sorry, I'm very picky about details and things. That's part of my neurodivergent condition. Yeah, some comics are masterpieces, but a lot of the stuff that I read, I'm not really a fan of, like, ongoing series just ending a story arc as a volume. And so in my one, I've got multi-volume plot lines, and I can show you them. So these are all the plots for, well, storylines. Should probably find a way to put a zoom feature in. So what I can click on here is, I don't know, I can click on Reiki's Core Journey, pull across volumes, disabilities, psychological growth, trauma recovery. I've got all of that. Get rid of that one. And then I've got, I don't know, say this one. It's like Sapphire develops her feelings, and she's just started to understand her emotions and everything. So you can tell I put a lot of effort in. Then I have my side character who has main character energy. Mine's influenced by modern manga. So I can probably show you that. Thanks for letting me know about some of the things from your perspective, though. Some of these I haven't actually renamed yet. Like that's Reiki's house. The better design. It is windy. My room is windy. I've got all of these notes and stuff. That's another part of Windsor, which I hadn't finished. So over there is supposed to be the warehouse district. Let's do that. Thanks. What I'm going to do, that's a cameo character for someone who was really helpful. That's a creature I just randomly came up with that I thought would be fun. An Erictus, which is kind of like the baby version of a wyvern. That's a scene from volume 1. This is Alina Lumen, but I've got a better image of her. And then this is going to be the family of, well, Tila's family. So you can kind of see here how I've kind of drawn her hair a little. So that's that, and then this is her mother. So I struggle with faces, which is why it looks erased. So that's supposed to be Tila's mum. Her mum doesn't have the thing that Tila has on her legs. This is the main capital that Reiki is in for Volume 2. So this is the Edu-Rezi district, this one. So it's got education and residential stuff. I can't remember what that one was. And I think this was the forgery district or something. Like, or the smithing district. That's what it was. I'll just put that so I can edit it later. Faces are tough and small sketch. Yes, I agree. So north is that way. Oops. This one? Nope, not that one. The alpha. Oh, okay, she's the beastle. Faces are tough and small. Yeah. You can. I'm rambling a little. This is the capital city of Froze. So you've got a western road out there. You have a road out that way. You can kind of see like it curves and stuff as well. Then some of the mountains in the background are actually referenced in another scene completely. And then so like those mountains there are actually one of the distant ones. So this is scanned in, this one. Oops. Then this is just along the coast from that one. So this one's bigger and it's called Gallantstown. So, and you can kind of see how I've tried to do like a forest around like here. And then you can kind of like, there's Windsor all the way over there. But you can see here they've like harvested the mountain for the buildings and stuff, as well as like getting this sorted as well. This is a massive port, by the way, because every single one of these things on here, each one of these is a house. So this is a massive place, this one. And there's a church up there, and there's like a big like eastern facing Colosseum. So that way, in the evenings, that you've got like, you can get the evening sunlight. Then I've got a street view of a place in Froze, or Froze, depending on where you're from in this country. And then I've got this one, which is from the sister capital. And the reason this is so detailed is because this has a specific plot point in Volume 8. This is the Otra Vitae Era Histi, which is literally just named because it has other, well, it's actually Vilai Era Histi, because it's other values of history. And like it stores historical places and stuff, things. There's a Leora again, Reiki's home, which I started overhauling. I've got an image somewhere which has the next floor up as well. So I've actually drawn more onto it since this image. If I ever decided to do films in the future, these would be like anime films. These would be some titles for them. It's like Lunaria's Curse, Rise of the Hero. Then I've got like some other things there to the left. Again, the Windsor stuff. Reiki's wedding. So this is the polyamorous wedding reception that they have. So a bunch of round table, because there's not many friends that they end up knowing. But then it's I go back into all of these again. Because I haven't sorted them either. But then we've got my spell weaver. This one's got a whole bunch of information behind it. But then I've got this musical instrument I came up with. Can you hear me now? I hate it when it does that. But basically, what this one is it's so the tops are flutes. The bottom half is so this is based on the rib of a wyvern. And what's interesting is this top half is actually hollow all the way down to about sort of here. And then it it hardens in this part. So obviously they carve it out a little to get the shape, but each one is different, so they're unique. And what this is used for is it's part of a bestial tradition to play this during dating scenes, or where you propose to someone that you want to date them and you want to see how compatible you are. Because in bestial culture, they are very direct in how they speak in their conlang. So if you wanted to admit your feelings for someone, you wouldn't say dating. It's a dating ritual. Because my story is set in them transitioning through a medical stuff, so they're getting into the medical era. But that would be another way of saying it. But it's specifically dating, because mating implies adult stuff. But yeah, so this is a mix of a flute, and it is played with this. So you can play it like a harp, or what did you call it? A lyre. I prefer harp because it just looks like one. But you would play with this edge here, and you would strum very quickly. Little bit, yeah. And I've actually written a scene for that, which is... that's the cliffhanger. There's my conlangs. Oh, I'm gonna have to open it again. But, yeah, so that's that. You can kind of see with this one. That's how big a hand is. So wyverns are big in this world. And then I've got... So this is one of my other perspective images. Just pop that on because I'm going to be doing this for a while. Thanks. I just drew this on a whim, no template or body posing lines or anything. I drew this on a whim, and this is actually based on, you know, those little kid pads where you can just write notes on and press a button to delete it. I actually sketched a very rough version on that, and I was just kind of hold on a minute, I've got to take a picture of this. And so I took a picture of that with an unfinished version of this. This is still technically unfinished, but I left it like this because I didn't want to ruin it. Oops. That was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't realize I was tabbed into OBS. This is a spoiler for Volume 4. That's supposed to be Eris Runa, but I struggle with portrait because I can't do human ears. But then I've got Reiki with a winged Zephoid Nakoa on his shoulder, and that's like an animal creature. That's Reiki. So this is my protagonist. Yes, I did this. So I have a video on how I actually drew this. This is Sapphire. So this one's drawn on top of a template as well, like the previous one. Because what I did was I got some handmade poses, you know, the little posture underlay things that people draw on top of. So if I go back to this one, I got a bunch of them, and I asked, because I didn't want to generate an image, because I knew exactly what type of outfit I was aiming for. This was the closest it got me. In terms of posing, but I went and said, here's a bunch of pose pictures. Give me a pose, or give me a very unique running pose. And then stupidly, after about 4 generations of using these images, it went and gave me a full character, and I was like, the outfit's good. I don't like that you've gone and given me just a general image. But I drew over the outfit, I changed the colors, I changed the hair, I changed the hands, and I added the foot. So this is completely different to the original image it's based on. Because you see where the red shirt is, that was actually supposed to come through the sleeveless hoodie, but I was like, I actually like it as a short sleeve hoodie. And so I added it on. I added the belt by myself. I added the stripe on the shorts. And then this was me trying Sapphire without a template. So you can kind of see here that I sketched a little thing for legs underneath. And I tried to get her posture right, because I actually did the body on her first, then the head. But that didn't quite work on this one here, which is her telling someone to kind of like, or like she's trying to push someone. And then down here I've got what the nails and hands would look like. Thanks. And then this one was an overlay as well. But you can see here I've kind of like labeled it Fix, which is that. But this was one of my first detailed sketches of Tila. So she has, so I just gave her a necklace because I was just bored at the time. I couldn't draw legs, and I wanted to give her something unique. And then in this one, I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm going to give her some fur on the back of her arms. And this was actually the first image I drew of her, because in this one, she's actually got a top on that hides it. And that's kind of, I was thinking that would be like a brace that she could wear for like holding something. And then this is her final design. And then this was a cute scene for like maybe the start of Volume 4, or basically it's after the whole like intensity of Volume 3. Like most of Volume 4 is kind of like it's chilled down, it's reduced. Thanks. So we've kind of, you've got the sun here. And it also says nightly viewings only here, because this is actually at the top of a church in Windsor. So this is the old port town that she's in, that she's having issues in. So she actually has like a patch of fur hair around where her tail connects, and she has like a little belt clip thing that holds her shorts up. And then she's got like, you can kind of see like a little patch on her back. Oh, that's his foot. That's Reiki's foot because he's resting with like his leg up for her to lean on. And then Reiki's like looking out. So this is before I gave him his outfit as well. So I gave him long trousers. But you can see that there is the hoodie effects that I was going for. This was before I did that visual one. Taking a cat nap. And this is Alina again. So I actually drew around my hand for this one. To try and get the scale right. So some of this stuff may sneak its way onto the Patreon. Which I'm so glad I'm getting something for. And that's the end of the characters. And then this is the Valkyrian. So this is I just drew this out of boredom one day. And on the back of it, I drew how wide it was. But then I kind of like went, I drew that one, but then I kind of went and drew this out of memory. And realized, you know what, I could actually use this to replace... I should have lost my art on my Patreon in a minute. Yeah, I should probably start doing that myself because I've got enough now. But honestly, I've got like a whole inch-thick folder full of sketches and notes and everything, which I still need to digitize because I've got 54 pages of my book Bible of just stuff that I've come up with recently, as well as from back when I first started writing this. And then this is a winged Zephoid Nakoa, and this is supposed to be the size of a kitten at full growth. So, and the horns are supposed to like have the color of the gender as well. And you can kind of see it. It says yawn, so it's supposed to be like it's yawning. Locations. And again, oh yeah, this is it. So this is what Reiki's future home is going to look like in Volume 3. 4. So in Volume 4, he's going to get this. So he's got like a little family outhouse. I have the floor plan for that as well, but I haven't taken a picture of it. This was before I finished like most of this stuff, so there's actually more in this garden and everything. This is considered a driveway because this is where the carriages would come in off the road. And it's actually between the two capital cities as well. So you can kind of see I've got the really nice design on it. So that's that main floor. And then you've probably seen these. This is a village. Yes, I have too much. This is what village that his situation struggled with. Either that or it's the village that he passes through at the end of Volume 2. So this is the Yale village. So the S is silent. I might make it an X actually, because in Rampani it's the X is silent. This was a Beastal founded village, hence the name. And then I can go into like my conlang and everything. And then I can like kind of see how it all functions and everything. And down here I've got like core vocabulary. I've probably got about maybe 300 across a bunch of things. And then down here I've got my number system, so they count up to 5 in this. And then they also count in compounds of 10. So, for example, if I wanted to say I am 30, you would say Ryzen Edda im Acheir, which is 30 of my age. I don't know if I should make it Edda or Oda. Because if I do Ada, it becomes is of. And then down here I've got money. It's, believe it or not, it's based on European languages with Japanese pronunciation. Well, broken European languages. Thank you. Like, if you wanted to say 14, it would be Zutibi. And then you've got 16, which is Zutirai. 17 is Zutabi. Zutabi Eda im Acheir. Get my terms right. And then I've got these, and then here it it goes into a bit of the lexicon as well. Like you've got ita, ita. These are apostrophized, by the way. So iche, icha, and then it's like X, and to make it, as it says here, E is that, E, A is it is. And just you've got all that functionality. Actually, that was right. I need to delete that. Share, Shade, Shahi, Shana, Kai, Kai, Kaina. So like you can, I was able to make names and sentences and even a poem in Angelus tongue, angelic. Wants to get a tattoo for the sentence in it, but I don't really have the room for it anymore. What's really funny is I've actually got some symbols that I've found recently for this language, which I need to upload at some point. So there's actually symbology as a symbol system for these languages. And this is one of 12, by the way. So these are the languages. And to do, I think that was that. Yeah, here we go. We've got the verb tense forms. Ine is need or needs. Tavai. Your language is so well put together. Mine is long list and you have to use the Google Docs search function to find the word you want to translate. So here's the thing. So if you want to say second mother, or like, it would be Timieta. Because that's how the structure would work. In language-based context, so many words mean the same. Yeah. So this would be how the structure in my language would work. Like, so you can, and depending on the way you use the words in this language as well, because it's very direct, you can change the meaning behind them. So if you want to say a girl is a crown princess, you would say crown. You would literally say crown princess. But if the crown belongs to the princess, you would have to create its princess of crown. So it uses the object subject verb structure. Just do that. Call it Tiro. Sewani, Otame, Zutame. Can't remember what I actually did for that. Your world is so lush, I'm happy. Thank you. Like you can also say like, is it food? Is it not food? But you would have to put gi on the end of it, gi, to make it a question. Like how in Japanese you put ka on the end of it. Aigo ga anasemasu ka? Or namae wa desu ka? Oh, okay, gotcha. It's been nice to have you pop by. So, thanks for that. 2.5 hours I've been live for. Imagine if I get raided. That'll be a laugh. I have a word for that. Where is that? I put a picture of it recently. Where'd it go? Where's the chat? That's the Twitch network. Here it is. Forward that to myself. Got a whole bunch of weather stuff in here now, which is good. I need to do... Can I do a U with a line over the top of it? I wish I knew how to do that. But basically, this is what I'm working with. So I've got my Suri or a Shuri. And then you've got Ura, Urin, Suidi, Dira, Shuva, like a chaff of wind. Zante, Zadira. Or I think it's Zaute. I think that's an O, I'm not sure. And then I've got Nivoa, or snow. And then you've got Niera, and Niechi, and Nieda Uridi, which is nighttime rain. Basically, night of rain. Or Nuridi. Well, technically I could do it Uridina. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, this is annoying. Because one of the structures that it has to be like... Then I've got my weeks. ID 2 Rider Day of 6 AD OTAD ORIAD IBASIAW. can't believe it does that every. Hello, welcome in. I've only just seen your message, sorry. Welcome in, 13. I mean, it's fine if you're lurking, but... And that is the end of that sprint. I might actually end the stream here. Who can we raid out to? Let's see, who are we going to raid? Could raid lady? Maybe novelty? So we're going to be raiding out see, who can we raid? I might just go and raid Lady Winter, because actually no. We can even like a 40-minute. Nope, not them. Let's go raid this person. So thank you to everyone who have tuned in, or who has tuned in. So I'm gonna raid them. And I hope to catch everyone in the next stream. So until then, I will catch you on the flip side. Well, on the next page.